Hey guys, Gameboy3800 here once again, and I'm here for another laptop review. This is the Dell Latitude E6510. This is very similar to the E6410 I did previously, except for the main difference in this one being that it's got an integrated GPU, or I guess a dedicated GPU, and a quad-core i7 versus the dual-core from the one before. As always with my laptop reviews, or I guess computer reviews since I have done desktops in the past, is to go over the exterior first. As you can see here, nice dark red finish on this one. This came in either black or dark red. Dell is known for doing that, especially on the Alienware series. They had many different colors to choose from. So, all metal. It actually feels really nice, but it does bend a little bit. But it hasn't gotten any damage yet. Only thing to be wary of is that it is kind of easy to chip it on the corners. So watch out for that. Next up are the ports. On the left side you have a SD card reader. Then you have a express card slot, some venting, display port, and eSATA USB combo along with a plain old USB. Back you see power input, VGA output, a super extended battery that I've got on this. Right side is LAN, and then way right side is a phone port that's covered up since no one uses it anymore. Then you have two more USBs, audio jacks, 1394 Firewire, a card reader of some sort, probably a ID card reader, Wi-Fi toggle switch, DVD writer, and then you have PCMCIA, I believe. Let's see. Yep. PCMCIA. I hate this thing. It's so hard to get it to go back in correctly. There we go, finally. Alright, the bottom has nothing special, just some venting and a docking station port, which wasn't really used, but still it's there. This is an extended 12-cell battery. This here is the standard 6-cell. You could get a 9-cell that was somewhere in between this. And this one is a 56 watt hour. This one is a 90 or 95 watt hour. And the other one is an 80 watt hour. So you get more and more battery for each one you go up. The 6 and 9 cell are official Dell ones, while this one was done by, I think, AGP Tech or someone. I forget. I unboxed it some while ago. Opening it up, you can see the keyboard does light up. The touchpad is pretty good for the size. Could be bigger, could be better. It's got the little mouse nipple in the center there. Left, right, center clicks about a touchpad. And now you can see it's got Windows 7 Home Premium with the Alienware skin that I usually like to do. And that's about it. Only issue with this keyboard is that the one key is kind of messed up. You can see it lifted up there. After a couple of seconds, the keyboard will go back down to normal, as you can see there. You can see some pretty good big speakers on the side of here, and unlike the E6410, that had a bad pair of speakers, this one, here we go, 95 watt hours. This one actually works. And here you can see all the specs on the side of the screen. Battery, Core i7 Q720, 1.6 GHz, 2.8 GHz max turbo. Kind of slow, considering that the dual-core i7 and the E6410 was 2.8 GHz base with a 3.4 GHz turbo. But quad cores, I think it can sustain 2.4 gigahertz on all of them. And then it's got a Quadro NVS3100M. That's got 512 gigabytes of memory, and it's kind of lacking, even for the time. You could have gotten a 1 gig card. But the 1 gigabyte card, the Quadro 8800M, or 880M, I guess, was reserved for the Precision M4500 that I did a review on a long time ago. But even though this has only 512 megabytes of RAM, I find it still plays some games pretty good. So we're going to open up Borderlands 1. One of my all-time favorite games. I find it better than 2 and pre-sequel. 2 is better than pre-sequel though, by a long shot. The pre-sequel story is good. Like, I think it's the best story out of all of them. Like, it really tells what Handsome Jack had to go through, but after the campaign, there's not too much you can do. And the campaign is only 6-7 hours long. Meanwhile, in Borderlands 1 and 2, there's tons to do after Endgame, which is why many people still play them. It's not going to play full screen. I'm going to mute that. It's not going to play full screen, but it will do, I believe, 1060 by 786 or something, 4:3 at high settings. And that's good. It gets a constant 30 frames, which is perfectly playable. And what's more impressive is it can do that on battery power. And because I replaced the thermal paste on this, this stays very cool and quiet. Even during gaming, it's only going to get a little bit louder than this. So, let's just do Mordecai. It doesn't matter. Play through 2. I was probably going to do the new cutscene or something, but that's about it. We'll see, it'll play fine. Oh no. Vault key checkmark. Where do I go? That's the only issue I have with Borderlands 1 is that the checkmark system, or the mission system, is not very great. Also, it's not letting me click and move for some very odd reason. I don't know where the waypoint is. Whatever. It might be with Tannis. Probably got to turn it in. But here you can see, it plays good. It was able to last a train ride. Well, it was plugged in, but it was able to get me through a 9-hour train ride. And that's pretty good. The screen resolution is, I gotta check this, 1360 by 768, or 1366 by 768, excuse me. Games like Beam and G.Drive, I found could not open no matter what. Like, they would open, but they could not play. Just take a look at this. So you will see, even at this small resolution, I'm going to allow access, because I think that's what was killing it before. And drive, free roam, and then just do grid map. Let's see if it loads. Before it wouldn't load, I have no idea why. It would start the level, and then the vehicle would not show up, and then the game would crash. If there's a fix for this, let me know. Although it plays fine on my desktop. There's the fan. It never gets much louder than this. I'm just hoping it's going to load completely. Also, if you get a super extended battery, you can play games for about 3 hours. That's actually really good. Oh wow, it's actually playing now. What do you know? It's not playing particularly well. Let's pause that. How many frames are you going to get me? Alright, yeah, it's not playing it very well. Super low resolution. The speedometer takes up almost the entire bit of screen and 20 frames. But yeah, and that is what happens if you try to jump a pickup truck. It fails. So yeah, that's an improvement, I guess. But yep, not a good gaming machine even for the time, but I guess it's supposed to be an all-around machine. So, yeah. Before I kick this video off, or end it, let's go to our special one. And there you go. I guess that's going to be it for this video. I will quickly note that the quad-core i7 is okay for video editing. It still takes a long time, about as long as the dual-core 3.46 turbo one. But, hey, what you're gonna do. All-around good laptop. I forgot to mention, no webcam on this model, but it does have stereo microphones. And actually it might be a webcam or it might be a light sensor. One of the two. A light sensor for the keyboard, if you want it to be always on, or for the screen brightness. And then finally, like the E6410, this has a Latitude on button for a power save kind of boot up mode for just simple stuff. But I don't use it. If you enjoyed this review, then please remember to like, favorite, comment, and of course subscribe. Thanks, Game Boy out. See you next time.